All right, let's just dive right in. I want you to imagine something. You're deep in the ocean, hundreds of feet underwater. You have to stay completely invisible, totally silent. And yet, you still have to communicate. So how on earth do these massive submarines talk to each other without making a sound?
I mean, that's the fundamental puzzle, right? Down there in the crushing dark, a single stray sound could give away your position to everyone. So how do you send and receive critical orders when silence is literally your only shield?
Well, up here on the surface, we're surrounded by radio waves and mobile signals. They connect us instantly, but take those same technologies underwater and they just stop. They're completely useless. Seawater is incredibly good at blocking them. Seriously, your phone wouldn't get a single bar.
And the stakes couldn't be higher. For a submarine, stealth isn't just some strategy, it's survival. Every single transmission, every ping, every little noise is a calculated risk that could expose the vessel to an enemy. This makes communication one of the greatest challenges they face, period. So how do they break the silence without breaking their cover? Well, the first and probably most famous method is what we can call the sonar solution. It's basically a way of speaking with sound waves themselves.
See, instead of just listening for enemies, subs can use their sonar to actually talk. They send out these carefully timed sequences of pings, which are pretty much a form of underwater Morse code. It's a super clever way to turn a detection tool into a communication device.
And you have to understand, these are not random noises. Every single ping carries information. A specific sequence can mean anything from state your position to get ready for new orders. It's a secret language, spoken in sound, that only another submarine with the right key can even begin to understand.
But sonar works best for, relatively close ranges. So what happens when you need to send a whisper across an entire ocean? That needs a totally different approach for both long and short-range signals.
This is where a very, very special kind of radio wave comes into play. Extremely low frequency waves, or ELF waves for short. Unlike pretty much any other radio wave, these have the bizarre ability to penetrate deep into the ocean, traveling for hundreds, even thousands of miles.
So what's the catch? Because there's always a catch. It all comes down to a huge trade-off. ELF gives you that incredible range, and it's almost impossible for an enemy to detect, but the price you pay is speed. We're talking painfully slow transmission, like a few characters per minute. This isn't for chatting, it's for sending short, absolutely critical commands from HQ.
And for those rare times when a sub is near the surface, or right next to a friendly ship, they can go old school. Simple, effective visual signals like blinking lights or even flags through a periscope. It's not common, but hey, it's another tool in the toolbox. Okay, now let's get to the really cutting-edge stuff. In the modern era, submarine communication has gone fully digital, using technology that's just as stealthy as it is sophisticated. Modern subs can send and receive messages using tiny, almost undetectable pulses of sound, or even blue-green laser light, and they use those colors for a reason. They travel the farthest through water. These pulses aren't just simple pings anymore. They carry complex, heavily encrypted digital data.
The whole process is really a masterpiece of digital security. First, a message is written up on board. Then it gets converted into a string of coded pulses, basically designed to just disappear into the background noise of the ocean. After it's transmitted silently, only the person it was meant for, who has the correct digital key, can piece the original message back together.
And that's exactly why it's so secure. I mean, even if an enemy vessel somehow managed to pick up the transmission, the message itself would be completely meaningless to them, just random digital garbage. Without the key, the secret stays safe.
So, we've seen the methods, but what does this really mean in practice? Let's talk about the incredible patience and pressure involved here, the real weight of a single word when silence literally means survival. This is the part that's just mind-blowing. Because of those extremely slow data rates you need to stay hidden, a single short message sent using ELF waves can take hours to arrive. Can you imagine waiting that long for a critical order, all while staying completely silent and totally invisible?
This three-word mantra is everything. Silent, invisible, deadly. Every single communication they make is weighed against the risk of being found. They are silent to remain hidden. They are invisible to remain safe. And all of that makes them one of the most effective military assets on the entire planet.
And this brings us right to the core paradox of being a submarine. Silence is their armor. It's the very thing that keeps them safe and ensures their survival. And yet, communication is their lifeline. It's their only connection to their command, to their mission, and to the whole world above the waves.
When you think about it, it's an absolutely astonishing achievement. Deep beneath the ocean, in maybe the most hostile environment on Earth, they mastered the art of talking, without ever really saying a word.
If you want to uncover more secrets from the world of military tech, you should definitely subscribe. We've got so much more to explore, and we're going to dive a lot deeper together.